And you know, they knew there would be hiccups. They knew that even when they wrote those documents, they knew that the slavery thing was going to rear its ugly head. That wasn't going away. But yet the institutions that were built to survive, and they work.
And
still to this
the Constitution,
day.
Still the Constitution,
Yeah.
and of course it gets its amendments from time to time,
yeah.
but still the Constitution means a heck of a lot. And do you think
it
that's
really
being
does.
taught? Is that being taught in American schools
Not
in a way
enough.
perhaps it was when you were at school?
No, not enough. And I think what we have to stop teaching our children garbage, you know, CRT and pronoun choices and all this insanity, and get back to teaching civics and history. That's really much more important.
Because America is not a national democracy, is it? It's a republic.
No, it's a republic, yeah.
Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, it just means that it's, you know, Tocqueville, and I think Jefferson used it often, said, beware the tyranny of the majority. You know, it wasn't built to be a referendum. And because what if the majority was mistreating minorities?
So the small states,
right? Small states should have
protection against the bigger states. That's basically how it works.
It was originally designed to make sure that the southern states didn't have too much power. They wanted to make sure there was equal number of votes, essentially, from the north and the south. But it also meant smaller western. They wanted to encourage the frontier, that the western states that weren't going to be populated very much, and to this day really aren't. You know,
when you fly over in daytime.
Yeah.
When you
amazing.
fly out over the Midwest, over the Rockies, and I remember flying over Utah late spring.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no habitation for hundreds of square miles.
It's fantastic. It's part of the culture. It's part of the fabric. And they didn't want the majority, where let's say people, and we see it today, people in Washington and New York and L.A., you surely don't want them to ignore the will of the people that live in different places.
Flyover states.
Flyover land,
the deplorables.
Right? And the deplorables, yeah. And this is, but it was really built to protect minorities, whatever those minorities might be, whether they're racial or ethnic minorities or regional minorities, farmers versus city people. So it was really important to make sure that there was protection.
But the Indians
so it was
got
a republic.
Bad deal, didn't they?
They got a bad deal. Yeah, by the English.
Yeah. You're blaming us for that, are you?
We the Americans kept that mistreatment going for a long time. So there's no doubt. I mean, look, it's not a perfect country. And as you know, Churchill has often said, you know, it's the best. You know, it's the best of the only options, right? So, you know, look, it's flawed. It's an imperfect country, but it's the greatest country in the world.